It's 1964 in the state of Washington. Selma Jeskova is a Czech immigrant who moved to the United States with her 12-year-old son, Gene. Their life is marked by poverty. Selma works in a factory with her friend Kathy and lives in a rented trailer on the property of police officer Bill Houston and his wife, Linda. Selma has a great passion for musicals, so when she's not working, she takes part in an amateur production of The Sound of Music. Selma says she doesn't have time for a boyfriend, but that doesn't stop the shy but persistent Jeff from courting her. Selma also enjoys trips to the local cinema with Kathy, where they watch Hollywood musical films together. Selma's life is full of challenges, leading her to seek some relief in times of extreme difficulty. At these times, she focuses on the sounds around her, such as those made by factory machines. In this dream state, she imagines that these sounds transform into music, transporting her to the universe of great musicals. Bill shares a troubling secret with her. Linda believes he still has a considerable amount of money, but his wife's extravagant spending has depleted his finances, and now he's at risk of losing his house to the bank. Bill confesses that he's afraid to tell the truth to Linda, fearing that she will abandon him. Moved by Bill's sincerity, Selma reveals her own secret. She is gradually losing her vision due to a genetic condition and has come to the United States with the aim of saving money for surgery for her son Gene, who is in danger of facing the same fate. Actually, she could only get her job at the factory because she cheated at the admission exam. Selma feels guilty because she knew about the genetic condition, but decided to have the child anyway. During a night of grueling factory work, Selma becomes so lost in her musical fantasy that she makes a mistake operating a machine. Upon returning home at dawn, she talks to Bill again. Bill is more and more desperate for money. After the conversation, Bill, taking advantage of the fact that Selma cannot see him, pretends to leave the trailer, but remains silent, trying to find out where she keeps the money. The next day, Selma is fired from the factory due to the machine incident. She receives her last paycheck and meets Jeff, who offers to take her home. Selma declines the invitation, but arranges a meeting with Jeff at 3 o'clock, as she needs to do something important. Back at the trailer, Selma discovers that the can where she kept her money is empty. Realizing that Bill stole from her, she goes to his house to confront him. Linda claims that Bill told her that Selma tried to seduce him, but he rejected her. Linda demands that Selma leave the place. To avoid revealing her knowledge of the couple's real financial situation, Selma ignores Linda and confronts Bill about the robbery. Bill refuses to return Selma's money, pulls out a gun, and yells at Linda that Selma tried to rob them. Linda concludes that Selma tried to seduce her husband to get the money, and Bill asks Linda to call the police. Selma refuses to give up her attempt to get her money back, and during a physical confrontation, she accidentally fires her gun. Even though Bill is injured, he refuses to return the money unless Selma ends his life. With a sinking heart, Selma shoots Bill, but due to her impaired vision, she is unable to hit him. Despite being weak, Bill persists, leading Selma to use a blunt object to fatally wound him. Desperate, she goes into a trance-like state when she hears a record player playing and imagines Bill getting up, dancing with her, and granting her forgiveness. With her money recovered, Selma escapes from the house and finds Jeff, who takes her to a doctor's office. There, Selma pays for Gene's surgery in advance. Unaware of the murder, Jeff takes Selma to the rehearsal of the musical she'd been taking part in. Selma is restless and wants to leave, but the director persuades her to stay to watch a rehearsal number. The music transports her to another musical daydream, but her fantasy is abruptly interrupted by the police arriving to arrest her. In court, she is accused of being a communist sympathizer who pretended to be blind to exploit the American healthcare system. Selma decides not to reveal Bill's secret, but claims to have sent all the money to her father in Czechoslovakia, an allegation that is proved false, leading to her being convicted of murder and sentenced to death. Jeff investigates local doctors' offices and discovers that payment for Gene's surgery has already been made. With the money recovered, he and Kathy hire a private lawyer to appeal the sentence. Selma is enraged by the idea, as she believes that unless her son has surgery immediately, it will be too late to prevent the worst. She refuses legal assistance and chooses to face execution rather than allow her son to go blind. Despite her conviction that she is doing what is right, Selma becomes increasingly distraught as she awaits her fate. At the time of execution, she can barely stand up. One of the prison guards tries to calm her down while taking her to the execution site. The sound of heavy footsteps allows Selma to enter into one last musical reverie. At the last moment, she despairs and calls her son's name. Kathy rushes to her to announce that the surgery was successful, ensuring that Gene will be able to see his children in the future. Kathy gives Selma Jean's glasses, acknowledging that Selma was right, and asks her to listen to her heart. Relieved, Selma hears her own heart beating quickly and sings one last song on the scaffold. Her life ends before she can finish the last verse. The film ends with the message. They say it's the last song. They don't know us, you see. It's only the last song if we let it be.